Okay, we're live. We're live. Everything's working the way it should be. Let me see here. There's no way to edit that. No. Let me share the stream at least. Let me share it in other outlets. Okay, I think that's it. Is there a proper way to have this on here? I don't think so. No, no. Yeah, I'm not skilled enough to try to figure that out right now. So I'm not gonna go over all the decks. If you're watching this later as a video, we're not gonna go over all the decks. We're just gonna go over a select few of them. Probably most of them. I'm not exactly sure how long I'm going to be streaming for. This is just kind of like a dry run slash test. I haven't done this in a while, clearly. But let's just get my main man out the way. I already, like, I cheated, kind of, because I already built this deck in my head. And I already looked at some resources on what people are doing with this deck, so kinda I cheated with this one already, but kind of not really. They reprinted my favorite starter, which is funny. Alright. This is actually a really good card for Barrow. Not only does it soul charge, but it actually draws you a card too, which that's what something that BAROMAGNES was missing, that added draw power. Oh, and it's soul charge from the drop. This is something else that, like, so for the longest time, what was wrong with BAROMAGNES was that it had a lot of these really cool pieces that when you're already set up, you ideally abuse these pieces like Keenly Loodly, Lilac Lasher, and etc. But the problem with these pieces is that they by themselves do not soul charge, and they're just kind of like top end pieces that are kind of bricks if you draw them in the early. But now we have this new grade 3, which not only does it soul charge, but it's basically like a grade 3 version of Keenly Loodly. What else was I playing in this deck? Just hotkey it. You know what? Let's cause we do have the resources pulled out as well. I do have Dexander pulled up and VG Paradox also pulled up, so we could just pull that up real quick. I think there's like there's one list on here, and there might be a few on VG Paradox. Oh no, there's actually a few different barrel lists that we can look at here. So let me just pull those up real quick. So we have this one, it's running the order. This makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. I'm not too sure if you can afford to run the order now, but this makes sense. This makes sense. I'm not sure if you need this anymore. Let's go on to the next list. Is this just the same list? This is just the same thing pulled up twice. Hold on a second. Okay, I misclicked somewhere. Unless it's just the same person. It might just be the same person then. So that's just the same list. And then this one appears to also just be the same list too. Is there... Yeah. Yeah, I think this is just the same person. Or no, I don't know, it's not the same person. Oh no, it may be. It might be the same person, yeah. Okay. So I can just exit out of that. Yeah, okay. And then... Is there anything for Barrow here? I think I might have an easier time looking up all sets. Yeah, it doesn't have anything on VG Paradox, so it's the only resource we could use is Dexander. I know you could look at more lists on Twitter itself, but we're just going to use these two resources for now. Okay, well, keeping that in mind. Have to play that. That guy's busted. I'll keep this in mind. I'm not sure if I want to or not. Let's go. So there's a lot of BAROMAGNES support. That's like it's clearly for BAROMAGNES. Not a lot, but a few BAROMAGNES support cards that are for Baro, but that doesn't have Baro in its name. Like this card's for Baro, because realistically there's no other deck in Dark States that can use this card like BAROMAGNES does. It just doesn't require to have BAROMAGNES by name. Still want to run the counter charger for sure. That set one counter charger, baby, never gets old. I think I have to like consider the pony. I think we have to realistically consider this as well. So obviously these are just going to be like preliminary like deck theory and deck craft lists, because there is no I don't have a way of getting area card fight area or arena on my PC. I've tried it like numerous times before. It just doesn't work for me. But these are just gonna be preliminary deck lists since this doesn't have like a test hand feature. Man, if this had a test hand feature, man, oh man, we would be cooking. Is there anything else by any chance? See the scroll all the way down for promos. Not in my opinion, no. Oh, I forgot Swirler. Well, I could just look. Now I could just look for it. So, two of this. I'm not comfortable with one of this just because what if you damage it? Is my opinion, and even if you see it before you want to use that counterblast ability to shuffle cards back in deck, it's still a soul charge piece, so you'll always have access to it later. For this for sure. Deck out shouldn't be an issue now because you have this new grade 3 Morax. You have Morax and you have Insight, Hardening Insight. So like deck out should not be a problem for this deck anymore. Let's get the triggers out of the way. This is gonna be probably the most controversial part of my BAROMAGNES list, is because I don't believe in draw triggers in BAROMAGNES. At least draw triggers have never worked for me personally. Maybe with this new format in Divine Z, that will change. But I'm just not. I've never been a draw trigger person when it comes to my Baro lists. Let's shortcut the elemental over triggers with King. How hard would that be to use? Kinda hard to use, yeah. I think this is the easiest one. Just sub in that one and call it a day for now, at least. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna sub in fronts for now. I'm not sure if in the near future I would actually have to change that, but in my experience, I always valued the shield over the potential card draw. At least in this particular deck, in my experience of playing the deck. So we have like 4-ish slots left. Like 7-ish slots left. Okay. This soul charges 1. This soul charges 1 no matter what. This soul charges 1, but it's not from... It doesn't... The sad part is, it doesn't proc, Amadadine. This procs Amadadine, this can proc Amadadine, this can proc Amadadine, this can proc Amadadine. Okay, I see what people were cooking here. What was this guy's list again? 3 of this, 1 of this, 3 Persona Ride, 2 of this, 3 of this, 3 of this, 4 of this. Okay. We need perfect guards. Blitz order. See a space issue. I gotta trim this down by 4 cards. Okay, so I could see why in this guy's initial list he trimmed this down, trimmed that down, and he trimmed this down, and that's how he was able to fit in for 3 of this. Oh, he also trimmed that down too. That order is hard to use though, isn't it not? Isn't this hard to use? Soul has 10 or more cards, all your front row get 5k until the end of turn. That's kind of hard to use. Still gotta cut a card. With the new Gray 2, this is good discard fodder, because you could just sub it to Soul from Drop Zone. So what do we cut? This is just good because it gets massive power. You could use this turn 2, so you're not automatically a turn 3 deck anymore. This is tough. I'm tempted to cut this. If I didn't feel like we needed the pony, which I think we do need the pony. If I didn't feel like we needed the pony, what I'm tempted to do here is tempted to run Forbital Surrogate and 1 copy of Curtis. Because think about it, like if you get Forbital Surrogate and you haven't gotten to 15 soul yet, 1 Forbital Surrogate gets you her, which is 1 soul charge, and then it gets you Curtis. It's a deck thin 2, and it gets you it's a deck thin 2 that minimally gets you 3 soul, but if you use the Monodine, it's a deck thin 2 that gets you 5 soul without using any counterblast. So the only things that are counterblasting right now is a Monodine and BAROMAGNES. Amonadine, BAROMAGNES, and Quigira. I'm tempted. It's an unlikely combo. The problem with this combo is that if you already have your soul count, it's low key useless. It still generates 2 rear guards, and inversely, if you need to if you're missing a BAROMAGNES, like to put a BAROMAGNES to soul to pump up your Vanguard, it can grab you a Baro. But I kind of feel like we need this. Yeah, I'm really tempted to cut it. Honestly, I'm really tempted to cut this down. The Forbital Surrogate stuff is cool, but I don't think it's consistent enough, especially since it's just a power 1 of. Realistically, counterblasting 1 for this, that's 1 CB. Then counterblasting 1, that's 1 CB. I think we can cut the countercharger. I don't think this deck CBs as much as it used to. If we're not running orders and we're just like relying solely on soul charging off of normal units, I think you can afford to cut down the countercharger by 1. Good discard targets, because you can fish stuff from the drop zone, like almost anything's a good discard target. This is a good discard target. Even extra persona rides are a good discard target. This is a good discard target. Yeah. Of course, this deck is going to have a problem in the early before it even gets to grade 3, because your only early turn play is this, unfortunately. Yeah, it doesn't get the 5k unless you're on Baro. But this could be good in the early as well, because it can bait attacks to rear guard. Because like you commit this early, and then like, oh, I don't want you to get the draw, so I'll attack into it. possibly save you. I'm not sure, but this was like the rough list I had in mind. I feel like yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how good the order is, just because, like, I don't trust it. Just because I feel like it's so hard to resolve by itself. Like, for this to resolve, you would need, like, this and, this. Minimum this and this. But I'm not sure. And I think these are just local tournaments. Hobby Station. Yeah, these are just local tournaments. But that's fine. I don't expect to take this deck to anything outside of locals regardless. This is going to be our initial list for BAROMAGNES. I see there's a few people in chat. Any suggestions for our next the next deck that we should build? Let me. I don't want to download deck image. Let's just confirm deck. Alright, so like I used to do back in the day, we're gonna put these deck codes in the description with the timestamp when this does get released into an official video. Scales. Whoa, which one is scales? What's scales? What do you mean by scales? Destined. Oh, Destined one of scales. I'm so sorry. Yeah, sure. We could do this next. Let me see what people are doing for this guy. Oh, we can get out of this. Standard Japanese. Set 4. Japanese, please. Okay, thank you. So, since its release, it's gotten 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's gotten a couple tops. It's gotten a couple tops since it's released. Your favorite? That's cool, dude. Yeah, I'm a sucker for like old school Vanguard dragon decks. Like ever since they started bringing like actual dragon archetypes back to D standard, back when it was Will Dress, I was just a huge fan of it. I'm a sucker for old school Vanguard dragons. I know it has an order. Let me pull up like a couple different lists. He got 10th. What about this guy? He got. Let's look at this. Alright. Let's look at my ranking. This guy got 2nd, so let's see what his list was. Do we have these yet? Do we have anything like this for English? I know on Decklog it just shows you the standard one, but I'm just so surprised that we don't have like any special ones like this for English. And that'd be really neat too, that like every event you go to, it has like the hot stamp of the event. That'd be really good, cool. Let me see here. He was running the Dual Nation card. He wasn't running that much, well, he did get second, but he wasn't running that many overcharge cards. Let's see here. What else? What else? Fourth? Let's look at this fourth place list. He's running more of the overcharge stuff. This is probably very easy to get off just because you have an order to play. It's probably searchable too. Alright. Let's look at our second fourth place list. Is this a counter charger? Yeah, it looks like a counter charger. Okay. Alcrebra. 3v3 second place. Just look at this one. Oh, this might just be the... I think this is relatively the same information, no? Yeah. This one. That's cool. 4 of the order. Does it use Does he use energy? Does this deck use energy? Colaflant. They're coming this BCS season. Over Farheart, not gonna lie. I'm not sure if you... Well, if this deck uses energy, I'd prefer not to use the cyclers at all. But, if it doesn't care about soul, sure, you could use Colaflant. I don't see why not. Let's just do his ride line really quick. I think this is the restander. Yeah, the restander uses energy. So yeah, I'm not gonna use the energy cycler. If the restander uses energy, it's just too crucial. If it was like another draw engine or something, like sure, who cares? But the fact that the restander uses energy, it's too crucial. Do the overcharge units have to be different? Soul Blast 2, choose 3 rear guards, they get 5 KT on a turn. If you chose 2 or more rear guards with the overcharge ability, draw a card and this unit gets 10k. And then his divine skill is CB1. Choose 2 of your rear guards, they get 5 KT on a turn. If your opponent's damage owns 4 or less cards, choosing your opponent's vanguards, deal it 1 damage. The power increase of trigger effects revealed for this effect's damage check get minus 10,000. This doesn't get over trigger, but it's really cool that it burns them. That's really nice. That's actually a really cool divine skill. Okay, so you could choose whatever. So you could have 2 of these and have like double restander. Okay. You regain soul very easily. Let me see here. Some people were playing this, and some people just weren't playing this. Like, what's the deal with this guy? When this attacks, if this is chosen by ability or Great Third Vanguard, Energy Blast 3, it gets 15 CN in a battle. In a battle, draw a card, and retire this card. I almost want to just save all my energy for the restander, to be honest. Do we even need this? This is like a countercharger, right? When this boosts, if this is chosen by ability or Great Third Greater Vanguard, card name, it gets 10 KT in that battle, and a battle if did not countercharge this turn, retire this card and countercharge. So it already comes in with an in-archetype countercharger. Counterblast 1 if you have a Vanguard of Alcreeber in its card name. Choose 2 Great Third, list cards with different card names. With the overcharge ability. Oh, that's pretty cool. CB, that counterblasts. The Vanguard counterblasts 1 time for the Divine. What is the Ride Line? The Ride Line doesn't counterblast. The Ride Line soul charges, so I can see what you mean by you get soul very easily in this deck. Your overcharge cards just get big for no reason. Okay, so for the first ability, you just need to have 2 overcharged rear guards, and you get that with the Ride Line regardless. So I can see why people are playing like a lot of generic cards with this deck. If you reveal a card with the overcharge ability, soul charge 1. Interesting. So you get 1 unit out of that. Let's do triggers. So what's the theory behind draw triggers? Because I feel like you can draw a lot with this deck. So what's the theory behind draw triggers, if you're running them? Is it very piece reliant? Do you just like need the draws anyway in case you don't see your draw cards? Cause let me see here. He's running fronts. He's running draws. He's running fronts. He's running draws. He's running draws. I feel like you can go through the deck pretty easily. Would deck out be a problem? I don't think so, no. I'll just run the draws for now. I'm not sure if that's the correct decision or not. Fronts for more power, draws for consistency. I prefer fronts, so as drawing is easy enough. Yeah. But I feel like this is going to be one of those decks to where it is going to be it's going to be one of those piece reliant type of deals, because you generally want to play with a full board, and I'm guessing it doesn't like you have in archetype recursion, but I'm guessing you don't like when people touch your board, is what I'm guessing. Let's do the Blitz order now. I'm guessing that's why people are running this, Defensing Roar. They'll just guard with their pieces and then get them back. But there's a few stop intercept abilities, so I'm not sure if that's good enough. Or it's like necessary. Let's get you in the deck just because we have an order card to consistently pump her out. Well, how often is she actually getting run in the deck? This deck isn't playing her. This deck isn't playing her. This deck isn't playing her. This deck is playing her. There's only one deck. Well, there's a lot of decks. Not playing her. Seems like the general consensus is you don't need Shenry in this deck. Which I could see that happening just because you can use the order. You have access to an order card. The problem here is, despite having that order, this deck doesn't appear to have any retire at all. In archetype retire, I mean. From what I'm looking at. Is this an overcharge card? No, this is a poopy buff Saga card. Definitely you're playing that. What's our grade 1 count at right now? 4 of the counter charger, 4 of this. They gave this deck a counter charger, but it doesn't look like it counterblasts all that much in my opinion. That doesn't counterblast. About the grade 3. The grade 3 doesn't counterblast. How many main deck overcharges are we playing? 12 right now. These guys get big though. Like everything just gets 10k for no reason. How many decks are running Brachio? Brachio. No Brachio. No Brachio. Brachio. Guessing because you can make a fat booster with this, so it's fine. That's why people are playing it. I think just because you have like such readily access to the counter charger, that like the energy charger is actually not bad in this deck because you can CB instead of energy blast. So I could see why people are running the energy charger. I could have done this way easier, but I'm so stubborn. You get soul very easily, but you're going to be soul blasting 2 every turn. What else were people playing? This deck's not even running the energy charger or the energy cycler. But I feel like it's so free in this deck that you don't really have a reason not to. This CBs. Okay, I forgot that the order CBs, so I could see why you need the counter charger now, because this CBs and this CBs and you CB1 for this. Okay, I can start putting together now why you need the counter chargers. So now maybe the energy cycler's a bad spec, but there's a couple different deck lists that are playing it though. I mean, it's probably manageable if these are the only things, and it gives you added recursion. So I think it's a necessary evil, to be honest. I could see you playing this at 1. I wouldn't want to play it at 2, just in case if I wanted additional access to this grade 1. I wouldn't want to play it at 2, but I could see you playing this at 1. Let me see here. This is a Mando Energy Charge 3. Oh, this deck list isn't running the order card at all. I just realized that. Hey, hold on. Okay, let's not confuse ourselves. Let's just look at these deck lists for now. Okay, what is the narrative with this deck? Order card, counter charger, draw engine, restander, draw triggers. What's the narrative of this deck? This is taking way longer than I thought it was, to be honest. Is the order bad? I see a couple lists that just straight up don't play it. kind of like a free-for-all. You can it looks like you can kind of just play whatever you want with this deck. I'm honestly scared of running multiple blitz orders and non-blitz order type decks, just because I'm scared of having them get clogged in my hand. Excuse me, guys. I feel like the max you would play is 3, but then 3 still feels like it's way too much. I guess I would pump this up. Yeah, I don't know what else. Without actually physically playing the deck or doing test hands, I'm not completely sure, but I feel like this gives you like the most flexibility. I'm not sure if you necessarily need P-Ride in this deck either. It seems like you just gain massive power regardless. But this looks like probably a solid-ish list. I like that. We're just gonna call it scales from now on. I cannot pronounce that. Alquilibra. Nah, I'm good, bro. Let's confirm this deck. And just as a reminder, when we do deck building streams like this, in the description of when this stream gets turned into a video, there's gonna be all the deck codes and timestamps of all the decks that we go over in the stream today. Just as a reminder. What deck should we do next? Alden? Alden? Anything else for Alden? Damn, let me get rid of all of these. Man, Dragon Empire is winning this set. So many tops for Dragon Empire. I know it's mainly just Shiranui and Shoujo Doji and Varga, but still, Dragon Empire is winning this set. I know we said Alden. I just want to look at it. I'm curious. 1 MLB. We don't have this yet, do we? No, it's a new MLB that came out a while ago for them, but we just don't have it in English. I know we have this. You could use this in any blaster deck, but it mainly only works for MLB. Or it works best in MLB is a better way of putting it. One Minerva top. I know I'm getting a little bit off top. Wow, the glare is immense. I know I'm getting a little bit off topic here. I was just curious, guys. Let me see here. Alden got a few tops, so let's just click on all of them. Open link in a new tab. Open link in a new tab. Alright, let's look at them. Okay. I know this new grade 3 is just like nutso with the combo. I know like all the new Alden, it's like a pseudo tank, but like it hits you like a Panzer at the same time. Wow, man, like the glare, dude. I had to use context clues to see what these cards are. You don't need to play this anymore. Not for counterchargers. No, you don't need to play that anymore. You can use this now because you have a divine skill, so you can use this. This is just better. So you don't have to discard a card for this. Yeah, man, y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? You had to discard a card to use the Alden? That's crazy, bro. Or, I mean, in the old Alden deck list. Let me see here. I guess these are promos they got. This got reprints as a promo. That's good. That's good. I think it was, like, getting nutso for a little bit for no reason. Okay, I think I got a rough idea of what people are doing with Alden. Get some water. Alright, let's go over his ride line really quick. Okay, how is this new ride line better, is my question. When this is roll upon my grade 3 all in his name, so boss 1, look top 5 cards of your deck, choose a grade 3 list from moment, call to rearguard shuffle. So you don't have to reveal anymore. Energy charge 2. This one puts it into your hand for one grade 2 or greater unit. So this is nice. Okay, this is a nice ride line. Okay. Soul Blast 1, top 7, call 2. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, it cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects. Shuffle the deck. Nice. When a card will be called by this unit's ability to a rearguard for the unit, return the unit that is on the rearguard to hand instead of putting it in drop zone. Nice. CP1, draw a card. Just one card for your hand, called to rearguard. To the end of your opponent's next turn, it cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects and gets 10k power. Okay, so the 10k is permanent on both turns. Okay, that's cool. And then I know if you call on top of this, Energy Blast 4, draw a card. By the ability of Grid through Grid Vanguard of Alden, that unit gets 10k to the end of turn. So last one, choose your rearguard and stand it. Okay, so this is how you get multi-attacks. What is this? I saw people running this too. During battle, this unit boosts your Grid through Grid Vanguard of Alden gets 5k. When this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard of Alden, Soul Charge 1, it gets 2k to the end of that battle. That's a double rare? I don't know if you need to play that, but man, that's a double rare? Ugh. Brother, ugh. That's a double rare? Okay, what does the order do? Because I've seen people play it like at 1. It gets auto when this unit attack. Counter boss 1. Choose up to 1 card from your hand called to rear. Do you even need that? I saw some people like flex it at 1. Do you even need that? This guy, well, he's playing it at 4. This guy is... I think he's not playing it. I can't see it in the deck list. This guy's not playing it. This guy's not playing it. Is it like too clunky? What's the deal? This guy's playing it at 1. Because if you have this, you're going to get to restand a rear guard anyway. Okay, can you get multiple attacks with this or no? 1 card for your call to rear guard. No, the most you could do is like restand columns. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's good enough, to be honest. What was the norm? What was the norm of these lists? Well, let me get the norm stuff out the way. What were people doing with triggers? Fronts. Okay, okay. Most of them were using red OT, so I'm guessing red OT is actually good in this deck. Okay, so what's left to actually deck build? Heals. I forgot heals. There you go. I know you need the... Let's go... ALDEN. What sucks is that it's just basically like the spirit of the deck is still there. It still does the same thing. What is kind of unfortunate is that you don't really use any of the old Alden support cards outside of this one grade 2, just because like it's this is the Panzer. Like you can get this guy to like 45k easily without Persona Ride. That's what's unfortunate. What else are people running? It sucks. There's so much redundancy. It sucks. You don't need this anymore. This is the third Alden we've gotten. Jeez. Alden is CBing. That's it. Doesn't seem to be a reason not to run the order package. Soul Blast 1, this Soul Blast 1, this Soul Blast 1. What about the countercharger? So this has to get placed by Alden. That's still a better countercharger than the other thing. What else were people running in this deck? That's interesting. Okay. This is running 100% of decks, 100% of decks, 100% of decks. Yeah, I don't see a reason to run any of these other cards. Yeah, this is helpful though. This like this little stats section. I didn't know that. That's really helpful actually for deck building. I imagine this deck wants to Persona Ride quite a bit. Because I don't see how else you're hitting... Well, besides the one column, I imagine it wants to Persona Ride quite a bit. I guess this is an easy include as well. I'm not sure. Let's check back to like the stat, or like what like these decks were running. Looking at like the slight variation in deck builds is actually quite interesting, to be honest. 3 of this feels like way too much. Even 3 of this kind of feels suspect, to be honest. But I saw most lists were playing either 3 or 4. Oh man, this glare is killing me, man. This guy got second place. Let's look at his second place list. This is the weird list. Hey, but you know, you gotta respect the results at least. Worked for him. Any suggestions in chat for Alden? This is a weird pick. I feel like there's not a lot of... This isn't some, like, that's seen a lot of play up until now. Well, by now it's seen a lot of play in Japan, but this isn't something that everybody just has in their broom closet. That's actually pretty good. I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but play 2 of this. I feel like there's not a reason not to. You're not especially attached to anything in your ride line. Back to Caterpile, unfortunately. This is why I've stayed away from Keter for a while, to be honest. It's all just Caterpile. Jot this down real quick. Now remember guys, these are just gonna be like rough sketches slash deck theory without any play testing or ooh, something happened. Without any play testing at all. Or like the ability to do test hands. Hold on a second. That was... What's going on here? Did it log me out? It logged me out. Crazy. That's fine. I can look this ish up on my phone. I don't have any of this logged in. Oh, damn. Or no, it is logged in on my phone. It just hasn't been saving any of the decks that I've created. So this is like, we've been creating decks into the ether. Let me see if this actually works or not. Or have we just been, Okay. So we're just not under my profile. That's why we're not gonna be able to look at it. Damn. Alright, we're gonna have to create the Alden deck again real quick. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I was logged in, but for some reason it logged me out. So, in spending way too much time on this again, I do apologize. Just trying to do this as fast as possible. Okay, this is our Alden list, guys. 16 triggers, 6 orders, 28 normal units. Okay. Let's jot down this deck code. Okay. What deck should we do next for set 4? We've done Divine One of Scales, Divine One of Protection, Alden. We've done BAROMAGNES. What deck should we do next? Should I just be impartial? Yeah, let's just go back to dark states. Let's get all this gulag out of here. The heck? Why is there two of them? That's weird. Alright. I know. Where are you? 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 I know you're here. They're up the top. They're at the top. Okay. Opening a new link. That didn't work. Did it open it up in a new page? What the heck just happened? It did. Via Man's Bruce. What are the stats? What are the stats? V-Man's Bruce needs its own ride line. If it hasn't gotten one already, which I don't believe it has. This ride line is just so outdated. Let's place on rearguard other than the battle phase. If you have a Vanguard deal bolus to its name, Energy Blast 3, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose 2 numbers to deal bolus of name. Choose 1 grade less or equal to your Vanguard. Reveal it called to rearguard, the rest into your soul. Top 7, call 1, and 1 to soul. That's interesting. I'm looking for the grade 1 promo. Which of course is going to be all the way at the bottom. When this unit is discarded from hand or put to soul from deck during your turn, you have a Vanguard with deal bolus' name, Energy Blast 3, calls to open rear guard, back row, rear guard. Back row center, at the end of battle, your rear guard attacked. If you're in final rush, retire 2 front row rear guards with deal bolus with its card name. Draw a card, choose one of your back row rear guards, and move it to an open rear guard. That's interesting. Oh, that's why people are using Julian. That's a sneaky way of getting like extra multi attacks. I know some of these might be the same lists, but I gotta just look through them all. Respect the OGOT. This is an old list. Is this also an old list? Yeah, these are old lists. What about this one? This is old. This is not an old list. Deal bolus triggers are actually important, believe it or not. But I don't think we run fronts. I think this deck is still hankering for draws. I believe this deck still runs the blue OT. Oh no, you know what? Honestly, this OT makes sense in this deck. This is kind of toolbox, but kind of not at the same time. Okay. This only works in the back row center, but why are people still running this? deck feels like it has infinite space. Four of this, four of this, four of this. Is that still hurting for countercharge? I feel like now it's not hurting for countercharge anymore. You just have to be in Final Rush for this. I love that. So now this deck isn't just, oh, I went first, I'm just like dead. Great discard fodder as well. Yeah, I don't know why people are running that. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't see why you wouldn't play the cat. Cat's kind of free in this deck. Oh, because you wouldn't get it off of this, I guess. If you're just trying to maximize on your Diabolos, that makes sense. But that's countercharge though, so I think it's like, it's an okay risk to take. This is 20k shield, this is also a 20k shield. There's like multiple lines to do like multi-attacks in this deck. That's actually pretty cool. I think I would run Trish just because Trish is a 10k shield all the time once you've ridden up to grade 3. Like this will always be live, this will always be live, while that one grade 1 wouldn't always be live. Yeah, I think I would build the deck just focusing around having this in the center, because that's probably where I'm gonna have it, in the center back row. Let's see here. I think you still need Persona Ride, so I think the one of should be the Great Three Order. Persona Ride order. Alright, this is just a rough draft, guys, at the end of the day. Let's see here. No, yeah, yeah, I'm aware of that. I would it's like cheating. Like, it's not cheating, but it's cheating. But like, if you need the counter charge, you can just call it for the counter charge and then call something on top of it before you can go into Final Rush and Final Burst. I had like this same deck theory like a long time ago for Final Rush when I was running the Soul Blast cycle card, because if you Persona Road, you could call it to call something from Soul, and whatever you call, you could just call on top of her, and that way you'll still be able to have Final Rush Final Burst during your battle phase. What? Well, let me see if it's not gonna glitch out on me again. What deck should we do now? We've done BAROMAGNES, we've done Divine One of Scales, we've done ALDEN, and we've just done Vehemance Bruce. I don't think there's any I guess we can quickly go over we could quickly go over BLANGDMIRE if we're just doing dark states right now. Autocorrect. I already have some preconceptions about BLANGDMIRE. I knew about the support beforehand, and I've spent like a lot of time labbing the deck. Outside of this set, of course, I spent a lot of time labbing the deck, so I kind of already know what I want to do with it. So we have 7 slots left. This is the core of what I want to do with the deck in terms of the BLANGDMIRE engine, at least. Maybe this is too cute. We had space for this in the past, but maybe we won't have space for it now. This is just the intercepts are the stop intercept is nice. I don't think it's needed for BLANGDMIRE personally, but the stop intercepts is nice, and after that it's just like on boost soul charge for the rest of the game. Yeah, I think this is too cute. When this unit is placed on rear guard, other than during the battle phase, soul charge 1, counter boss 1, choose a great tier list card for a different card name from this unit from soul. Call it to rear guard if you have a Vanguard without BLANGDMIRE's name. And then at the end of the turn, put that called unit into soul. Does this replace this, is my question. Does this replace this? I don't think so. Let's look at some references. That was weird. Let's look at stats. That's interesting. Alright, let's look at this top 4 list. risk this top 5. I feel like it still makes sense to run cage, because if you cage this, that gets you 2 stuff for the price of 1. Energy Cycler, I was early on and I never really believed in the Energy Cycler in Blangmire. I tried it out for myself. I just preferred to like stockpile my energy for your Zamud, because I feel like Zamud was your win condition. Now, obviously, your win condition now is probably going to be Zamud, stick this behind Zamud, but I digress. What's cool to see is that there's still deck diversity. There's a lot of cards that always get run, but you don't really see like super standardized lists, at least in my opinion. Okay, I think I have an idea what I want to do with this deck now. I think this is an easy cut. Okay, so this is my logic right now. 2 of him, 2 of the set order, and then 4 Falcratia. My logic here is this. At most, I want to only have 2 of the set order out. Probably maximum is going to be, not maximum, minimum is going to be 1, maximum is going to be 2. And then I'm always going to have this behind the Vanguard. But it might just be correct to do this. But I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of lists. Okay. I think I understand roughly how this deck works. So, probably not this, just for Clog. I don't know if we play 4 Falcretia, it almost feels incorrect, to be honest. But considering that this can grab anything we want, and this can get this easily, this might be the list, to be honest. Or how about this? Well, we actually might have room. Hidden room! Busted! So since we have hidden room, honestly, I'm just gonna slap in 2 of this. Consider it my spicy tech, because I still believe in this card. It's not for the discard, necessarily, but I think it's just like like, overall, it's just solid, in my opinion. Overall, it's just solid. And it's not as bad as people think it is. It's either this or the grade 1 promo. Which, if we're just gonna, let's do it like this. If we're just gonna be if we're gonna be fair, let's just do this. This makes way more sense. This list makes way more sense now. You could like cut these out, bump this to 3, but this makes way more sense now. BLANGDMIRE. Okay, let's take a final look at the deck. Looks solid, looks solid. What deck should we do next, to be honest? There's surprisingly a lot of decks in this set. Or, surprisingly, a lot of stuff that gets supported in this set. Sorry guys, I had to turn off my mic for a second. I didn't want to give y'all that all that chewing nonsense. This is another deck that I was very hyped about. It just looks cool. Like I'm a sucker for these dragon decks, man. To be honest, I've always been a fan of dragons. I'm not always like the biggest fan of like red dragon, but like I'm just a fan of like dragons in general, man. I've always been like a huge fan of them. So let's see what people are playing in this deck. I know it has some results. I know it's not the best deck out of this set, but I do know it's getting like guaranteed like really bonker support in the next set. What does this order even do? Energy Blast 2. Each card grade less than equal to your Vanguard from drop zone called a rear guard. Gets 5 killing in a turn for each your infinity has markers in the same column as a called unit. Interesting. It's a Stoicheia deck, so I already know the trigger lineup. It needs draws. I don't think as of recently I've played a single Sequoia deck that hasn't needed draw triggers. Does this deck use energy? The Vanguard doesn't use energy. This grade 2 uses energy, so you probably can't use the Cycler. What order package are we playing in this deck? I don't know if this deck needs P-Ride or not. see what people are doing with this deck again. Doesn't seem to use soul, so that makes sense. Okay, so I guess we cut this already. Go old school. What does a ride line get me? Ride line energy blasts 3. Put into your hand. That's interesting. This kind of doesn't make sense, though. It kind of does, but it kind of doesn't. Wouldn't you want more of this? Because you already have Drop Zone Call. But you already have Deck, too. I kind of feel like you would want this more, to be honest. Plus, this can search itself. Yeah, I feel like you would want that more. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's some weird stuff you could do with this deck, but this seems like a good, this seems like a good basis for this deck. That's kind of like the problem with Stoicheia, Alice. Stoicheia, I feel like no matter what Stoicheia deck you play, you always have to run like a huge order count. The good thing about the habitats is the habitats can search themselves, and you could fire those off very early. But I feel like if you're playing Stoicheia, you almost kind of have no choice but to run like unless like you're Roroa, to run like a good chunk of order packages. Because I'm not sure what else you could play in the deck. You CB a lot. It has a countercharger, but you're already CBing a lot heavy. It has graveyard recursion already, so I feel like you want more. The ability to pull things more from the deck, because I feel like that's one of Stoicheia's problems, is it doesn't have a lot of ways to pull things from the deck consistently. But I think 6 is okay. I think 6 is a good number in terms of orders. good thing about this is you don't necessarily have to use it. As long as you can pitch it, you'll get one use out of it no matter what. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I could see, like, just looking at this deck, I could already see its flaws. It looks like a cool deck, but that's the problem with most deckhand decks. They look cool, but they don't usually work as cool as they look in practice. Complete bias, of course. Complete bias. Brewer's bias. Yeah, I haven't. I wanted to go over way more decks, but we're already at the 2 hour mark, and I didn't really want to make this stream like a super long stream. So maybe we'll come back at a later date and stream some more deck building. But yeah, like it just like these decks are for like their due credit, it was more complicated to build them than I first thought it was because there's just so many kind of like different things you can do with them now in terms of like generic cards infusing with archetype cards. Like you there wasn't really any lists that we looked at and we saw like the same list like 3 times. We saw like maybe a list pop up twice, but we never saw like the same list like like repeated over and over and over. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Tell me what you thought about the stream down below in the comments. If you would want more frequent streams, that would be something that I might be willing to do in the future, but I don't necessarily have a plan for it in my current content creation goals. Maybe like we'll do a stream every set release. We'll be able to cover a few decks, but I don't think we're gonna in a timely fashion. I don't think we're gonna be able to cover every deck without just like straight up copy pasting